Hey, welcome to the Broken Bar. Now today we're gonna make a perfect patio sipper for warm weather. And it's kind of a sparkling cocktail, but I think it's a little bit more than that because it's got tons and tons of layers of flavor. The drink's called the Old Mexican. Now with a name like the Old Mexican, it's not surprising, but the first thing you're gonna need is gonna be tequila. And just make sure you're using a silver tequila. Silver or Blanco Tequila is gonna have that sharp, crisp profile that works really well in this drink. The next thing you'll need is some Turbinado Syrup, and this is basically a sugar in the raw syrup, so it still has some of that caramel flavor that's retained. This is a 1-to-1 ratio, so equal parts sugar to water. Next, you're gonna need some lime juice, so we're gonna use 1 whole lime, of course, because fresh is best. You're also going to need some bitters. Specifically, this drink is going to use chocolate bitters, so whatever brand of chocolate bitters you so desire. I'm using Angostura cocoa bitters. The next ingredient is going to be sparkling wine. The drier the better, but I couldn't get my hands on any Brut, so we're going to go with the prosecco today and take it in the other direction and see how it works out. And finally, the last ingredient is going to be mint. So this is going to help to round it all off and give it this kind of like fresh pop, which is perfect for hot weather. Now, I know that looks like a lot, but the drink's actually pretty easy to make. So let's get this stuff out of the way and we'll get started. Now this is kind of a 2-step process, but that starts with shaking some things up. So we'll need our shaker tin here. We'll just begin by adding some of our ingredients to that. So I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 ounce of the silver tequila right to the mixing tin. And then we'll go ahead and move on to the sweetener, which is our Turbinado syrup. And this of course is gonna give a little bit more depth than a regular syrup. We're gonna add 1/2 ounce straight to the mixing tin. Then we'll go ahead and move on to our acid here. We're going to add our lime juice. So we're looking for about 1/2 ounce here. Get that squeezed. Looks like I got just enough. So 1/2 ounce of lime juice. All right, so let's get these out of the way. And the next thing that we're going to add is going to be our bitters. So we're going to add 4 dashes of the chocolate bitters. And finally, we're gonna add some mint. Now we're not gonna worry about muddling this because shaking is gonna be just enough to get that mint flavor out. We don't want it that minty, so we're gonna add 4 leaves right to the mixing tin. And then we're just gonna ice it up and give it a shake. And we're just gonna give this a solid shake for about 8 to 10 seconds. That is good right there. Get that bad boy open. And I like to serve these into an old-fashioned glass. And we'll just use 1 big cube here. Go ahead and strain the cocktail off, making sure that we're doing a fine strain and double straining it so none of those little leaves and bits get in there. It's not a huge cocktail. There we go. And we'll finish it off with our sparkling wine. So we're gonna add 1 ounce of sparkling wine. I'm just gonna eyeball it. There we go. Don't wanna overdo it on the wine, otherwise that's kind of like all you're gonna taste. But you know, you do you. And finally, to garnish the drink, this is one of my favorite parts of this, we're gonna use a tiny dried rosebud. I've got all these dried rosebuds, and just drop that right on top of the cube there. And voila, that is the Old Mexican. Let's see how we did here. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, perfect. Pound these on the patio all summer long. Definitely you can tell it's a sparkling style cocktail. You get that effervescence, but the tequila also shines. It's got this sour kind of a vibe going on. The chocolate bitters is what hits you at the very end. And the whole thing is just like aroma in your face, especially with this little rosebud as a garnish. It's like, it's so perfumey, you know, right when you put it up to your nose, it's just a lot going on. Anyway, that's it. I really recommend you trying one of these. And if you do, come back and let me know what you thought. Or leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought about today's episode. And while you're down there, don't forget to do all the other stuff like hit the like button and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode because now we are on to the next drink. Cheers.